This clip is from The Buckle Bomb Show. New episodes drop every Sunday at youtube.com/Bomb Media Productions. Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, DMD, had a steel cage match on Dynamite for the AEW Women's title. Thunder Rosa won, finally beat Britt Baker for the championship. And we'll get into our feelings about the match before, but what do you think about this match between Britt Baker and Thunder Rose in the steel cage? What do you think of the match?
Honestly, I think you and I are going to come from two different viewpoints on this. I loved it. AEW match, women's match, it don't matter. Inside of a steel cage, you're going to get that healthy dose of blood and gore. Now, one thing I would like to point out that I don't know if you noticed or not. Are you a big of a fan of the AEW cage design as I am? They had the one side of the cage that you could actually still grab onto from the
That's right
ropes.
up, and that's the far camera side.
Yeah,
around it is you have a little bit of space. That was interesting. I like that setup. That was the first time I'd seen the AEW cage, and I did like it. I don't hate the match as much as you think I do. I got no problem with women having a more hardcore fight as long as it fits, and this one certainly did. You go through their history, and I had to research a little bit, but apparently they had an unsanctioned match a year or so ago that was bloody as well, and they've had some battles, and they've been back and forth for a year plus now. We had talked about this, I think, last week on the show about why because you told me they were having this match on Dynamite, and why would, and if they might switch the title then, I'm like, well, why wouldn't they do it at Revolution? And I understand it a little bit better why here, because of the match type. This is the type of match, for the history that these two have. This is the type of match that you want. This is the type of match that needs to blow off the feud and get Thunder Rosa over with the title. There were things that I didn't think was great, but I thought it was pretty good. Again, with the thumbtacks. Not the biggest fan of thumbtacks. I don't mind it once every couple of years, as long as it's right at the end of the match, because at that point you can't bump anymore, really. You get a couple of big bumps, but after that it kind of wears out its welcome, and now every bump is on the tacks, and it's just now you're wrestling on tacks, and that's just the match. So it's got to be towards the end.
Didn't you feel bad for Aubrey Edwards every time she went to go count a pin, and then you saw her directly afterwards pulling thumbtacks out of her hand?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw her Instagram photo too. She had the bloody arm, and I saw it in the match. Because the way the pin happened, for Aubrey to be in position, she had to be right in the middle of the big pile of tacks to make the three. So, and to her credit, she went at it, and she did the three, and I saw her get up, and you could see her going in pain as she's declaring the winner. But I don't mind tacks when they're used right way and very rare. We just saw thumbtacks a week and a half ago, before that show. He didn't need the tacks. I don't think he needed the tacks. They both got juice, which was fine. With Thunder Rosa's face paint, it didn't work necessarily as well. It looked like she tried to write something on her belly with blood after, but her blood had already dried up, so it didn't quite work. But the match was fine. I got no problem with a heavier match like this with women. I know some people are like, that doesn't work with women's wrestling. I think it worked great. I think the match was good. Couple of things I wish they changed or not used, whatever. But yeah, Thunder Rosa, new AEW Women's title, a beautiful new belt, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. That old belt, it was so tiny, and I just felt like it distracted so much from a women's championship belt.
Well, when your first champion's Riho, it's got to be a little small.
Yeah, that did not take that into consideration. You're right, but this one more closely.
This belt would be her entire torso. But.
Yeah, this one, this belt definitely resembles more of the men's AEW's World Champion belt.
Mm,
Kind of like the way WWE has the offset just in color for the women's and men's
right,
titles.
right.
But I do like this design. It looks a little bit sleeker. It looks really nice around Thunder Rosa. And yeah, this is I'm excited to see where this feud's going to go next because AEW's women's division right now is pretty stacked. And if they can get into actually showcasing some of the other talent, man,
Sure, and I like that they have a minor championship as well in the TBS championship. Um, Certainly with the WWE, you go, oh my god, too many belts, the too many world belts, especially. You know, you've got 2 women's and 2 men's world titles, and hopefully post WrestleMania we'll at least have 1 men's world title.
yeah,
But when you go back to all these mid card guys and former world champion because you know you could have 2 world champions at the same time in one company. It watered it down a bit. But here with the AEW Women's Championship and the AEW Women's TBS Championship, you've got someone like Jade Cargill who's still pretty green, but you can she's got a look and she's got a presence on screen, and you can give her a run with a belt just like you would if she were a male with the IC title or something like that. And she could just you could see what she can do while she's still gaining experience defending the belt and getting into feuds and all that and gaining that experience and getting better and better in the ring so that when she is ready for the women's championship, the world championship, watch out.